Hey everybody, welcome to today's Facebook Live. I'm Karen Coffey. I'm the founder and owner of Making Agents Wealthy, and I have the honor, absolute privilege to interview Kelly Morrison. She is out of the Waynesboro, Charlottesville, Stanton area in Virginia, and she is the owner of Avenue Realty Group, which is in the Waynesboro downtown area. So Kelly, welcome. It's really good to have you today.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here today.
Yes, I mean, things have certainly changed for you a lot in the last year, and that's why I'm so honored to talk with you today. And, you know, agents all around North America watch this Facebook Live, and, you know, they're not all successful. They're not all just killing it or knocking it out of the park. And so I just love to share stories of where you've been, where you've come, what has changed in your business over the last little bit. So when did you and I meet? When did we start working together?
Yeah, so I saw your Facebook ad in February, so the very end of February. And so we really got started. I had a lot of emails on February 22nd. And so I think our first actual call was in February 26th. So really end of February, start of March.
Oh, good, good. So we've been together probably eight months.
Yeah.
8 months total, right?
Absolutely.
And where was, you know, what was your story? Where was your business when you came searching around Facebook?
Well, so maybe just a little bit of background about me. So I was in education before. So I'd been a teacher, professor, coach for 30 years.
Right.
And decided to change fields. And so basically 4 years ago, I left that field after 30 and wanted to do something different. My parents were always kind of actively involved with rentals, and my dad was a business owner. Mm-hmm. And originally I thought I was going to get into it for flipping houses. And I got the bug. I mean, I realized that I can help people in real estate just like I did in the classroom every day. Yeah. I mean, I can really make a difference in someone's life and help them pay their own mortgage versus someone else's. And so that's how I got started. Yeah. And I mean, it's actually, I've done quite well, but I knew it was time. I had changed brokerage firms, had gone with a locally owned firm. So just to back up from your earlier statement, Avenue Realty Group is owned by Darian and Amy, and then I have the partnership agreement.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so yeah. Got it.
So I've been very fortunate to get guidance from them and work with them. But in opening the branch office here, I knew I needed a whole lot more. So I started kind of reaching out and looking at other avenues, and I came across you, and I did a little research, on the background of what all you had done and where your career was, and I was like, wow, that's the group I want to be with.
That's awesome. Now, how long had you been licensed at this point when you joined us 8 months ago?
So about 3 years.
3 years, okay.
Not quite even 3 years.
All right. So you kind of new in the business. I don't like to say that you're new after 3 years. I figured, my God, you need to be at a certain level, but you were doing fairly well. So how many closings had you had the year before?
So I was averaging, well, my first year was only, a few months. So that was like maybe 4 or 5, and that
right.
It was only a couple months into it. But then I was averaging probably 18, 19, 20 a year.
Okay.
And the average is somewhere around 7. So I, felt real good about it.
Yeah, compared to all the other agents in your market, you were doing
right.
Good. Yeah, that's good. So, and we're closing out this year. How many have you done this year?
Yeah, so you kind of challenged us from day one and said you have to look at big picture. And I think in my original, I said like, I don't know, 35 or 40. And you're like, no, that's not going to work. And so I really felt at that time could get close to 50. I was like, all right, you want to raise the bar? I'll raise the bar. And so we did. And so I went for 50, and we are 2 away from that. And, you and I talked earlier today, and I told you a story about maybe some other buyers that are coming in that might get us to that 50, which I would be super happy with 50. If you can change the lives of 50 people in 1 year, how can you not be happy?
How can you not be happy with that? That is really, really something special. That is. And you have worked hard. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I noticed right away about you, Kelly, is that I don't know if it was coming from a background of education but you showed up for the process. You right. Didn't really, I don't know, did you question, or did you just kind of whatever?
Well, my background's athletics, and so I am a very goal-driven. I mean, you don't really. I'll put more pressure on myself than anyone else will put on me.
Right.
And so I just needed some tools in the process, and your plans and the modules is exactly what I needed. It was like a perfect blend. And so with that, I was able to take that. So it's probably, and I know you guys always say you showed up. I'm like, well, doesn't everyone show up? Not in my wheelhouse not to show up. So.
Not everybody does. And it's crazy to think that, because you think, well, everyone shows up because they have a pain in their life. They have a struggle. There's a reason that they need accountability, coaching, next level steps, systems, things like that. And yet they don't. And so, there was something I told you. What was the first thing I told you? And I mean,
so we did an assessment, and you told me I was a high D. And so you said, don't be creative and work the 12 weeks. You're like, well, look, we've got 12 weeks. This program's 12 weeks. Do what it says to do over the 12 weeks. Don't change it. And that was really hard for me. I mean, I'll be honest, like in that week 1, we had to send out this letter, and I questioned, I'm like, I can't send out a letter. I even sent it to some friends. I'm like, you guys, does this sound like me? And they're like, Kelly, that's not you. And then I was like, I kind of went back and I had my mindset call, and I was like, you know what? You said trust the process, and I'm just going to do it. I might have tweaked it a little bit and sent it out. And the open rate on that was, it was like over 65%.
Yes. And when the normal is like 20% is good.
Yeah.
But,
and that was like 65% in like the first day. Overall over the, a few days it went up, and I immediately got business from it from a client that I hadn't heard from. So I was like, okay, I think that was a big point for me to be like, all right, I really do need to, they're the experts. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I committed to this program. And why would I not go with what you said? You have a proven system. So that's what I did.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, but you did it. You did trust the process. You weren't creative. And I mean it when I say that. Don't be creative. You've been creative all your real estate career. Take this time. Like you said, it is 12 weeks where I want your attention. And if I can just stack things on for you, if I can tell you what to do in 12 weeks, just put blinders on just for this time and see if what I say doesn't build your business. And for you, it almost tripled from last year.
That's
almost
right.
tripled the amount of closings. Not
Certainly
quite.
Doubled.
What's more than doubled. That's right. More than doubled. So what had you tried before you came to us? What other programs or, yeah.
So I originally, my original broker was a big Brian Buffini fan.
Okay.
So we did a lot. We did the 100 days of Brian Buffini. I even, was so excited about it. I wanted to learn. I'm an educator, so I want knowledge and all of that, right?
Yes,
so see what I can find out. And so I went up to DC for a seminar that they had put on. I was really engaged with that. But it was I've never been like that, big box mass production. Everybody gets the same thing. I've always wanted things very personalized and smaller groups. I was an educator. I could teach a small group classroom much more. They would learn more than a large group, right? And so it was great. And I absolutely am grateful for those programs, and they really helped me get a start. But when it was time to go to that next level, plus I used to teach at a women's institution, so single gender. And so the power of working with women and having women at the table was really important. And that's what your group was about. And so I was like, wow, like that kind of caught me as well. And the support in our Facebook groups and in our Q&As and all that it's like there's power in all that. Yeah. So it's something I was able to take, even though you have these systems, I was able to personalize, not be creative, but I was able to make them me and go with it.
Authentic to you.
Right. Authentic. That's right.
Yeah. That's good. And our heart is with women. That we have a few great men and we love them, but typically women, we don't do business exactly the same as men, do we? Has that been your experience or?
Oh, that's absolutely experience. Right. Yeah. And that was the power of, and if you look at a lot of successful women, they came from this kind of single gender institutions, and they really, and it comes down to confidence.
Yeah.
So if you can help someone be confident in what they're doing, whether that's in life, it's that self-esteem, then you can make a difference. And I think when you're around other people that can understand what you're going through, it's just powerful.
Right, right. And, we do have different roles and people talk about it, that
Right.
we're the mother, the daughter, the spouse, the businesswoman, and there are these different roles, and it's very difficult to juggle all those with work-life balance. And, but it doesn't mean that we have to settle for anything less, that we
Right.
can systematize and automate and get to a level to where it doesn't have to suck the life out of us.
And
And
go
we
on
still have something
vacation.
left over. What do you say?
And go on vacation.
And go on vacation. That's
And,
right.
and work still happens.
Where did you go? And did work still happen?
My family's from the Midwest. And so right in the middle of all this in July, I usually always go back to see them. And
Yeah.
so right in that's the height of the market. And by that time I had, brought in some other people and that were, buyer's agents and stuff like that. And so I was able to actually go and take time off. I mean, I remember last time when I was home at my parents', like I was like constantly working the whole time I was there. So I couldn't be, and I've always be where you are. Even if I have your cell phone on and you're like talking with someone and somewhere else, you're not where you are, right? And
Right, not being present.
Right. And so I was able to actually enjoy that time, not worry about business. Someone else could take care of it while I was gone. It was very powerful.
It is life-giving.
Now, if they're watching this, they're going to ask why I'm not there right now. So there's limits here.
That's right. Well, you have to show up sometimes.
That's right. That's right.
You have to show up sometimes. So, but it is life-giving in that life is going to happen with or without us, that things happen, things change. And we hope it's all vacation. We hope it's all going to see family or taking them to Hawaii or Italy or wherever people want to go, But we have to set ourselves up that wheel, that machine keeps going.
That's right.
Even when we're not in it. And that you can be present with your family and not lose your business, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in real estate, that is really true. Like what you do today it impacts like 30, 40, or 60 days from now. And so if you take 10 days off, those, 30, 40, 60 days from now, you're going to feel it. And I did, and I had done that before. And so that was also kind of the power of your program is learning how to get through that.
That's it. I see it all the time. We had an agent, she took 10 days off, and it's not that we want you to take time off. We want you to take lots of it, but she hadn't implemented the leverage that we talked about with you. And her business is right now, it is done. It is done. Nothing's there. So she's having to rebuild. And then you have all these closings, and then she had to rebuild, so you're having to rebuild again. So it can be a struggle. It can be a struggle, but you certainly followed the program and it worked out well for you. What was happening that you felt like you had to change something and change it now? Why did you need to fix your business? I mean, you were doing 20. I mean, that's
and it wasn't that I needed to fix my business. It was I needed to raise the level of my business, right?
Yeah.
And I knew I could help more people. And so I was very I got into this because I wanted to help buyers. And, I talked to other realtors and talked to them like, oh my God, you'd be such a good buyer's agent. And so I spent my first 2.5 years like buyer agent. And I think that's great because you learn so much. I mean, it's kind of like starting from the mailroom, right?
Yes.
And so that's right. And everyone kept saying, Kelly, you really need to start doing more listings. And I was like, I did. And I tried more listings. I'm like, but I really enjoy the buyers. And so I was in this like kind of, back and forth of what I needed to do. And I don't think I really had that's what I did not have is I did not have the system for how to bring in listings. Not that, when I would
scale too.
Well, right. Exactly. How to scale. I would go to listing appointments and I would win the listings. And that wasn't the issue. It was really, how do you scale that and balance, kind of what you want to do. And your program, I mean, open houses and everything that goes with a listing. It's not just a listing.
No. And so you got to leverage that listing for all its time.
Yeah. I guess if you think about the big takeaway word is leverage, right?
I was going to say, if there is one takeaway, what is it? So it would probably be leverage.
Yeah.
Build a machine. Build that machine.
That's right. And that's what your 12 weeks would do. And so you kind of go through that, every week is different, is a different module and something else going on. And That's where you really learn, like, okay, this is what I need to start my, to kind of, so your program is really good for new agents too. And so it's really is a broad spectrum. So from the experienced agent to the new agent, which I think is wonderful, and they're all on there. And so you can really, take from that and build from it. And so if you've already been an agent for a while and you had a few holes in your system, now you can plug all those holes.
That's it. That's I couldn't have said it better, because there are holes that emerge over time if you're an experienced agent, and to be able to fill those holes so that nothing's falling through the cracks. But to be a new agent, to build it right the first time versus, a lot of times we don't get the support we need from around us, and we've got to find something to just, it's the map. But, and I don't know if you know this, but, I coached agents for years, like a year at a time, because that's what everybody was doing. They hire a real estate coach or a company, and it's a year-long program. And what I found was that it took a year for people to get the success that I wanted them to have. And I thought, maybe I'll shorten this and see what happens. I shortened it to 6 months, and by golly, it took 6 months.
Right.
I said, can I shorten it one more time? And I shortened it to 12 weeks, and I went, I'm going to create pressure. I'm going to create urgency in it. And in 12 weeks time, you guys are doing what most agents take a year to do, literally. And so I just love seeing the fast turnaround. One of your biggest income months, I think you had 16 closings or something, was it?
No, we didn't have, with the group, there were a lot. I mean, for me, I was averaging maybe 1.5 to a month.
Yeah.
And that's average, because clearly, for me, what the other part is, it was like, March, April, May, June, July, August, right? And then the other months would be 1 or 0. That was the other part about your program, is this is consistency through all 12 months. Like we're going to have 7 closings in November. I think last year I went back and looked, and I had 1 closing or maybe I had 2 in November, but it was like not 7.
Right.
So, so it's been, consistency. So, at least 5, almost 5 every, we've been trying to do 5 a month. That was the goal that we originally set out. And, speaking of goals and kind of my athletics background, another big takeaway that made a difference for me is I've always set goals. I mean, my background has psychology, there's goal setting with athletes and all of that, with everyone. And one of the things that you said was, don't write goals, write commitments. Yeah. And so I switched that whole narrative, which after, 30 beyond, years of goals, and all of a sudden I'm going commitments, but it's so much more impactful and powerful. I mean, if you're committed to something, and that's what I always try to get people, you got to be committed. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, don't do it.
That's
right?
it.
And so the only way you're going to enjoy it is if you're committed to it. Well, not the only way, but it's a big
I guess you can grind through it, but that's no fun, man.
Right.
Whew. The grind hurts. It hurt me when I was, when I'm in production and waking up every day and going, what's my goal? What's my why? What's my, it's like, I couldn't get clear. But when I said, you know what? I have a goal to lose 20 pounds, but I'm not committed to losing 20 pounds. If I was committed, I would have done it. And I would be doing the activities to make sure that happened. So, you made that commitment, said, I am committed to closing 50. And it's interesting, what you didn't share was that you're too shy, but you got 2 cash buyers that contacted you yesterday.
It is. And you want me to expand on that story?
Sure. Yeah. If you want.
Well, it was kind of, I think one of the other things is we have to have a purpose, right? And we have to know why we're doing what we're doing. And so I'm very driven, and I'm committed to what I'm doing. But the one thing I wasn't doing probably was asking the world, like, hey, I need this, or how do I get this, or how can I achieve that? And the 2 of us had done a couple exercises of asking the universe what we needed. And after our last phone call, this was actually last week, and we did that, and we came around some great planning for the 2020 business, right? Yeah. And I said, the one thing is I really want this 50, but it's, I just don't know. We're sitting here almost the, end of November, and, how am I going to close something that fast? And then on that Sunday evening, I was kind of put it out there in the world, I did my one command. So I want to, I know I'm going to close 50. I just know, And I did that, but I also asked the universe, I'm like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
And in that moment, it was like, I need cash buyers. And so then I put out there, I need cash buyers, right? I need two
Yes.
cash buyers. Okay, that's Sunday, right? On Monday, I get 2 calls out of the blue from other people in just totally different scenarios, situations where they need a house quickly and they have cash. Yeah. So if I had not,
what are the chances?
I know, like we talk about.
And that was yesterday.
Right. And so that's what I think in just terms of kind of learning about, we have to take a moment, we have to take a breath, and we have to ask ourselves, what do we need today? What's going to fulfill us today? What's going to make us, get up tomorrow morning and achieve this or, go after it? And that was really powerful. So that was really cool. I have to tell you one more thing that we.
Yeah, I love it.
This whole story full circle. So that was, that was Sunday. They called Monday. Yesterday, I went to this new restaurant. We have this new restaurant downtown Stanton. It's a seafood restaurant, and everyone's been raving about it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we're going to take a moment to celebrate. Let's go out to dinner. And it's a beautiful restaurant. The ambiance, the decorating's gorgeous. It's really nice downtown of Stanton. And we're sitting there, and you're in kind of those booths where people can hear you on both sides.
Yeah, yeah.
And the lady next to me said, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt. She goes, but is today your birthday? And I was like, no. She goes, but you're so happy. And I'm like, I am happy. I said, I'm living the dream. I said, but why not be happy? I mean, we're in this kind of world right now where there's all this going back and forth. Aww. And, we can choose to be happy or not. Mm-hmm. And she was like, she goes, you've just made me so happy, you being happy. And and this is a stranger sitting next to me, right? And then there were other things. I mean, it was just, I was happy, right? And happy. We choose to be happy or not, right?
That's it.
There are certainly times when we don't have that. But anyhow, and so then the manager comes over, clears our table, goes away. And then the waiter comes back up and they bring the bill and we're kind of looking at it. And it was like, wow, like what's, something's off on the bill. Well, the people next to us bought all of our drinks.
No.
Like she was so, happy that you were happy. You made a difference today for her. And I don't know what she was saying, but that's what life's about, right?
Yes.
And so this all kind of, if you and I hadn't had that conversation, if you look at these things that, I definitely believe in karma.
Yeah.
But if we had not set all those in motion, that would not have happened. And then the waiter's like, I'm so happy now. He goes, this is so cool. It's a new restaurant. We haven't had this happen, And so it's a time we have to have, we have to think about all that we've, through the whole year. And so I just, it's just, I'm going to pass that forward too. At some point in time or the next week or so, something will present itself where I can pass on that, doing something for someone else.
Yes. Yes. And because you're focusing on that positive and focusing on what you needed, and you ask the universe, and you ask God, and you ask, hey, this is what I need, that came in. It's a ripple effect. And, because you could get so caught up in this deal is falling apart, or that agent was rude, or, somebody is not giving me what I want, or my clients are horrible. I mean, the traffic's bad. If we focus on the negative, we get more of that. And
that's right.
You're really focusing on your gratitude, and like you're right. And really focusing on that. I love that you're implementing, because it's about your business. It's not just about, it's how I'm feeling, my attitude. This just overflows into your business.
Right. What we do is hard, and there are tough days, right? I mean, when things are, one thing that you always say is there's no emergencies in real estate. And I was like, I don't know about that. Well, and
I always argue with you about it. There's no real estate emergencies.
You gave me the other side of that. You're like, well, if you got caught up in that, you missed something else over here.
$40,000 worth of commissions.
That's right. So we and so I think there's just so much. And so we have to kind of live in the moment and be thankful for what we have. And for me, it's just like, I want to provide and, help other people and keep educating. It's in a different path now. It's in real estate, not actual education, but It's the same thing.
It is.
Making a difference in this world.
I know it. So, what is next for you guys? What's on the horizon?
Yeah, so planning the 2020, as I had said earlier, we opened up the branch office over in downtown Waynesboro. Super excited about that. Waynesboro is such a up and coming town. I mean, it's established, and it's just the downtown is starting to really pick up and boom, and being a part of that process. So not just real estate, but also helping the small businesses on my main street, helping them as well. Like this Saturday will be, shop local, shop small. And so, everybody's going to be out Thursday and Friday at the Black Friday sales, but I hope they go out on Saturday too. And so it's it's planning the business. So it's growth in the community. It's growing the business. It's bringing in the kind of next step in all this is adding in more agents to the office. That have kind of the same thing that we are, that we want to make a difference in someone's life. It's not burn and churn. Plus they're going to, what's the average, like 2 years or something that people.
Yeah, it is like two years in the business. So
it's too much of an investment to do that. Right. So let's learn the right way and
be successful, learn the right way and do it right.
Right. So it's really planning that and just, growing from there.
Love it. Well, now you have a system to do that. Now you got.
Well, not only that, like the other cool thing about this is I did bring on a new agent in March, and she's already in 6 months closed 13 deals. Yes. And that's your system. Like I just, said, hey, this is what we're doing. This is the program. This is our schedule. This is everything. Right. And kind of like you trust the process and just go with the flow.
That's it. It takes as long as you give it. Trust the process. I have all kinds of one-liners and, it doesn't take as long as we think it does when you have the right systems. And I was just blessed. I'm no smarter than anybody else. I was just very, very blessed that, I got knocked down on my knees, in life. And I'm on my knees going, obviously I don't know everything and I'm not doing this right. So I took pen and paper and said, okay, I'm just going to do this step, then this step, then this step. And come to find out that's what we teach in it, and it tends to work. So,
it kind of goes back to that. You remember, you've heard it, you get knocked down 7 times, you get up 8. Right?
Yes.
And I don't know how many times you got knocked down, Karen, but you got up with this plan and this initiative. Okay, 7. And so, and you did this. So, I mean, kudos to you and trying to help, and you're trying to make a difference. You're doing the same thing. You're trying to make a difference in all these women's and a few men's lives in order to get out there and do what they can and provide. And so it's just amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you always hear me say, I don't need.
I drank the coffee.
You drink the coffee. And real estate runs on coffee. That's what it's.
Yeah, but I drink tea. So.
Okay. Real estate runs on tea.
Yeah,
it's all right. We won't hold it against you. But, I do have a passion for women, and I don't need another coaching client. I need another success, and I want and I don't need it, but that's what I want. That's why I do it. It's about changing women's lives. It's not about getting another client or another credit card. I have no interest in that whatsoever. For everybody watching today, I really appreciate everybody watching today. But what would you say? I mean, anything at all that, and I have no attachment to any of what you say. So just, anything else you want to say to them, your biggest tip, your biggest, piece of advice.
Well, I guess first and foremost, if you haven't signed up for your program, sign up. Well, no, and here's, the reason I say that is I was really, I went to this lead generation seminar out in Vegas and learned about lead generation, all that. And when I was out there and I was listening to all these like big names in real estate, and they were all talking about my coach out in the audience and my coach this and my coach that. And I was like, Kelly, you need a coach. And it was kind of after that I was like, okay, like I don't know everything. I need a coach as well. And so for those people, like, it's time, get a coach. Like, that's like really cool. And it'll make a big difference. So that's like step 1 is actually do it. Because how many times do people sit on the couch and go, I'm going to do that. And they don't. And I did it. I went on and, registered and it was like, wow, here I am. But once you get in the program, for those that are in the program, and what I would say is absolutely listen to your coaches. So I had Kelly as a coach in the program.
It's great.
Jennifer with the mindset, Ava who ran background support on everything. I mean, you have the most amazing team around you.
I do.
Yeah, you do. I mean, we're only as good as the people around us. And the same thing for me. I will only be as successful in my business as the people around me.
That's right.
And you've got a well-oiled machine.
I do, and I want everyone else to have that too, because they are amazing. I mean, just really, you want to talk about gratitude. I have attracted an amazing group of women that work tirelessly and late days and nights and busy to make it happen for all of the women agents that we work for. You know,
Right.
I say we work for you because we do.
Well,
So,
because we make that commitment, like I think truly make the commitment. Like if it's a 12-week program, module 1 is, I don't want to go through all your secrets here.
no.
Right. But like what you'll want to do is like, what's in 2, what's in 3, what's in 4?
Yeah.
And
What's next? What's next?
What's next? And don't do that. Like stay in that particular one. And there are some events you're going to plan and some different things you're going to do. And you're going to say, can I do this? Oh my goodness. And I watch too many people like in the program doubt themselves.
Yes.
Just go with it and just go, it's kind of like go big or go home.
Do the best you can. Get it, just throw spaghetti on the wall. Just get it done in the way that we want you to do it and launch.
Right.
It's just a beautiful way of launching your business. Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
So my biggest thing, any piece of advice that anyone that was looking at this is don't try to run in-runs around the process. Like, just if day 8 says to do this, do that on day 8.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's good. That is real good. Now you can tell you've been that sports background and that mindset, certainly helps. And, so, just looking at your business, just recapping, so, life wasn't horrible. You've been in for about 3 years. You were closing about 20. Then consistently, you have done about 5 a month. Your best month will be about 50,000 in income, I think, maybe 60, if I did the math right in your average. And you now have that ability to go and be with family and take some time off, create a machine, leverage. And I just think you're just an amazing model for so many women out there and what they can accomplish. And I mean, you have your hands full, life is full for you. And you've put meaning behind the money too, the meaning of just growing your down. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about that is I think I'm just bizarre in that case is it really is it's never about the money. And I know you run the numbers and you say, hey, this, that, and the other. And,
Right.
You said maybe 50,000. I don't know. I just know that I help people. Right. and I got a little paycheck and in the mail type of thing. So I think you have to go with that mentality. I mean, yes, we still have to, put food on the table and gas in the tank and all that. I'm not trying to trivialize that at all. But I think you have to have a reason and you have to know why you're doing what you're doing. Gosh, I wrote that down somewhere. I wrote, I don't even know where I put it, but know why you are doing what you're doing.
Mm.
And so as we were kind of going through mindset and different things, and some days I was like, and some days are hard and I was thinking that, but I was like, you know what, you have to have that ultimate goal. And we talk about vision boards and all those things. And when those days are tough, if you have that and this is my ultimate goal out there, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it may be, then, and you can see it and you can get through the weeds. So yeah, I guess that's my coaching coming out. Sorry.
It is. No, I love it. Go, girl. It's all right. Somebody needs to hear it. And that's why I just believe that everything that we say is meant to land on someone's ears. And I love everything that you shared. So, for anyone that wants to reach out to you, Kelly, if they have a referral for you, if they have buyers in your area, listings coming up, what is the best way for them to get to find you?
So pretty much everything's through my Kelly Morrison Realty. So it's Kelly Morrison, Morrison Realty. And then I have some Kelly Morrison Realty at gmail.com, kellymorrisonrealty.com. I have my website. And then that'll also lead into my lead generation website as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, email is probably a great way to contact or going onto the website.
So yeah, if you have any referrals, any business coming up, but listen, before we let you go, I just want to let you know that I want to invite you to a breakthrough session. Now, this is not a sales call. This is not something, it's 45 minutes where my team spends with you, just digging in what's not working, what is working. your specific situation may be very different from Kelly's, or it may be you're listening today thinking, oh my gosh, that is me. I just need to patch up some of the holes. It just seems like I'm missing business. Go to KarenCoffey.com/apply. And that is going to take you to a calendar. And that's the first thing that Kelly did, So, well, the first thing she did, she saw a webinar, actually, a teaching that I did on the 5 steps our clients use to make 100K in 100 days. That was the teaching that I was doing.
And here's my word for the day. Do it.
Hey! Just do it. She's in the background. This is subliminal. But this is, 9 times out of 10, when a real estate coach says, hey, we're going to have a call with you, it's a sales call. We don't invite everybody into this. It may not even be a fit for you. And if it's, or, we don't feel like we can help you. And if we can't, we refer you to somebody who can. There are other companies that will say, hey, this seems like this is more of a fit for you for where you're at right now. But I'll tell you, it is the best 45 minutes. We'll start mapping out how to patch those holes, how to get you fast income, how to automate, how to leverage so that you can have time with family and vacations and move away from that 60-hour a week work week. So it really is an amazing call. And, again, we're not going to pressure you into anything. If it's a fit, we're going to lay it down and go, hey, join us. And if it's not, you'll be like, it's not for me, and it's all good. So that's at Karen Coffey, and that's Coffey, COFFEY.com / and I never know which way to go on camera, / apply, APPLY, and just make that appointment. And we really look forward to talking with you. Kelly, I just can't thank you enough for joining me today on this live.
Well, Karen, I can't thank you and your team enough. I mean, honestly, I've grown so much through this process and the knowledge and learning over the past, I guess, probably about 8 months now, from everyone, from you, from, Avon, all the work she does is amazing. And Jennifer with her mindset and Kelly, it's just been a absolute honor to work with you guys. And I pinch myself when I'm getting ready to make our calls and do different things, because it's been very helpful, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's awesome. And guys, thanks for joining us. We're grateful for you out there in Facebook land, or Instagram, wherever you're at today. I don't know, Facebook Live. Yeah, that's where we're at. But have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks, Kelly. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.